4th Street Live.
Come follow the new Nevada history segment of 4th Street Live podcast as we dive into stories of Nevada's past, tales of mobsters, railroads, cowboys, and mysteries around the battle-born state. Subscribe to 4th Street Live podcast for more wild stories and the real history behind the neon. New episodes weekly. The past is never really dead in Nevada. It's just waiting to be told.
I don't know if you know, is it Sonny Liston? Sonny Liston.
I know the name.
The boxer.
Yes.
Had a huge fight before Vegas was famous, like right across the street here.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So that's cool. There's it's just a dirt lot now, but there was a pro
boxing ring building or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was. I've tried to look that up too, but it was Muhammad Ali's fought here, but it was like Sonny Liston was the big one in town. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty fucking cool, man. So,
there's a lot of history here for sure.
Yeah. So you're from San Diego?
So
the Chargers in the.
Okay. I was born in Torrance.
You can just use your phone.
Torrance, California, up in LA County, and then like a hooker, jumped from fucking place to place with my parents.
Torrance, bro.
Yeah, lived in cars, hotels.
That's a rough neighborhood, dude.
Yeah.
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 Torrance is by Hawthorne, right?
Right next door.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That was my childhood was all over the place. Then we finally settled down in Orange County. Lived there till I was 14, and then my parents thought it was a good idea to move to Utah.
Where in Utah?
Small town called Garland.
I know Garland.
In Tremont?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just because I work on the railroad, bro.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it goes right through there.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of beautiful, bro.
Yeah. Well,
that's a beautiful area.
That lasted about a year and a half.
Okay.
And then we moved to Wendover.
Okay. So I got a running joke that Wendover's my favorite town in Nevada.
Wendover's cool.
Yeah.
When I was there, mind you, 1991.
Yeah.
1991 time frame. No stoplight. I mean, there was one flashing yellow light and one flashing red light coming off the freeway.
The pepper mill wasn't there yet?
Pepper Mill, State Line, Silversmith. I worked at State Line and Silversmith. One high school. Actually, it was junior high school.
Right.
7 through 12. Best thing to go do was to go out onto the fucking flats and just haul ass out there and do dumb shit.
You get fucked up, huh?
Yeah.
You get fucked up in the desert.
Go up to a 6 Mile Hill.
Yeah.
And fucking just go up there and drink. Yeah.
Dude, I love Wendover. Like
Wendover's
I love
cool.
Wendover. Like if I can, when I'm on the road, I won't stay in. You know, it's like an hour and a half drive from Salt Lake, right? You know what I mean? So it's like drive the extra hour and a half, and I'll just stay in.
Stay in Wendover.
I'll stay in Wendover because I love Wendover so much. You know what really it is? I love the view there of that of the Ely Mountains right there. So, you know, just south
and then
of
out,
Wendover.
you know, towards the Salt Flats and everything.
Oh, it's actually a beautiful place.
We used to go out to the Salt Flats and intentionally come hauling ass down the freeway past UHP.
Because they can't do shit.
Hit the state line.
That's funny. I love that, dude. Yeah, they can't cross the border, can they?
Well, they can't get on the radio fast enough
to get you
to get permission to cross state lines.
That's hilarious, bro. I love that.
Back then, now I'm sure now they have a grace period to get across.
You can get in there. Yeah.
Yeah, we had fun there. I stay there every time I go through that way because I still have friends that are there. I'm surprised they're still there, but
right.
Yeah. Okay.
So for the people that are listening, could you do me a favor? Could you introduce yourself and tell us where you served and maybe some of the missions you're allowed to talk about?
Yeah. I can talk about everything.
Cool.
Ain't that squirrel, secret squirrel. My name's Christopher Lee Thompson. Go by Chris, or everybody that knows me now, I'm that guy. I don't have a first name no more.
Okay.
Like we were talking about, grew up in LA County, Orange County, until I was 14, moved to Utah. From there, moved to Nevada-Utah border, Wendover. From there, once I graduated, my brother, he was the book nerd. I was the street runner.
Love it. Yeah.
I was the skater. I skated my whole kid life. He called me and was like, hey, I'm not going nowhere in life, so I'm going to join the Marine Corps.
So he went to the Marine Corps first.
He signed up and called me and asked me if I wanted to go. And I was like, I can't let this dude go by himself. Well, so I said, fuck it, went with him. And so we went to boot camp together and did all of our boot camp there. From there, went to, I lied to the Marine Corps, told them I was guaranteed West Coast. They played a sick joke on me and said, all right, you're going to 29 Palms. All right, out in the middle of Death Valley.
I got a buddy who was there in 29 Palms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a great place.
Yeah.
Started my softball career there, believe it or not, because back then Desert Storm had just ended, so there was nothing going on.
So there was no conflict at that time.
No conflict.
Understood.
Everything was back here in the States and everything. There was, obviously little things going on in other countries, but nothing that required mass deployments and stuff. The biggest thing I did was play softball. Started playing for the base team, started traveling around playing softball. All my friends from high school are like, dude, how's the Marine Corps? I'm like, you ain't gonna believe it.
Yeah. So good.
Softball's my biggest job.
Yeah.
I don't have to PT.
Yeah.
As long as I pass my PT test, I don't have to do that. From there, ended over in Iwakuni, Japan, which small base. A lot of my friends that are in the Marine Corps, to include my brother, ended up in Okinawa. I ended up in Iwakuni. At that time, it was only 3 miles around the whole base.
Yeah.
And we split it with the JMSDF.
Yep.
The Japanese military. Again, nothing but softball.
Crazy.
Traveled up and down Japan, playing other bases.
I had a buddy that was stationed in Japan for the Marines. I don't know which base, but I don't know how many there are, but he's a drummer. He's a percussionist.
For the Marine Corps band?
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys get to travel everywhere.
Yeah, he is like, that's a great gig, man.
I would assume he was probably somewhere near Nagasaki, Yokosuka, Yokota, somewhere where it's a main base centrally Japan, so they could travel up and down.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time, being the drummer boy.
Yeah.
When they had to be out front to announce we're coming.
Yeah. I forgot about that, bro. Yeah.
How miserable
that
would have been.
Some
for 14-year-old boy just tell them we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, I forgot about that. What a stupid. That's just so silly in retrospect now that we're I don't know, a little smarter about war, but you're just going to meet in the middle, bro. You know what I mean? It's just kind of.
You're going to let a little kid lead.
You get a little kid lead you on the drum.
Well, I mean, it handled conflicts pretty quick because everybody fucking died day one.
Right there, right? Yeah. So we're going to figure this out. Yeah, whoever's got the most numbers, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't no $20 trillion wars.
Yeah, for
he
20
who
years.
goes home wins.
Yeah, whoever's drummer boy fucking can drum out.
Yeah.
Wins.
No, that's for real, bro.
Sorry, that was my son.
No, yeah.
Go ahead.
So how long were you in Japan for?
For that tour, I was in there for a year.
Got it.
And then from there, came back. I didn't know whether I was going to stay in or get out.
Yeah.
So I was sitting in separations company.
What the fuck is separation?
Yeah,
So
what's
it's where
separations company?
So separations company is where they go right before they discharge you or whatever they release you. You'll go there, do all your final turn in of all your gear, get your final orders and everything, discharge orders and everything.
Okay.
So it's where they send everybody who is under a year coming back from overseas, basically.
Understood.
So they have somewhere to come before they not kick them out or release you from duty or whatever. I decided at the last minute, might as well stay in. I mean, I'm having a good time playing softball. Why not?
Fuck.
So ended up stationed at Camp Pendleton. So Oceanside, where, right there. Again, nothing but playing softball.
Yeah.
Doing my normal job was boring. I was logistics. So the only thing I was doing was running a warehouse, working in an MP unit, working for them. A whole lot of stories with those dudes. But then in 98, I volunteered to go back to Japan again and, went back, met up with all of my friends, the Japanese national friends that I had on the first tour.
Yeah.
Which I still talk to this day.
Yeah.
And everything,
Were they salty?
So it's crazy because
I've never met one.
Japanese people are very timid.
No, right.
So,
I knew this. Yeah.
So me being 6'2",
right,
out in public with them, where their average height is 5'6", 5'7", I'm watching a black wave just walk down the sidewalk and everything.
Yeah.
They won't look at you.
But that's a respect thing, right?
It's an intimidation thing.
Got it.
They're still scared about, flashbangs.
Yeah.
That they got hit with.
That shit's crazy.
But I started making friends with a lot of Japanese people from softball.
Yeah.
And so then I started getting invited out to some of the local Japanese-only places that you have to have a Japanese national escort to get you in there.
Whoa.
So I got to really go see their culture and hang out with them, get invited to their houses. You, just like me, would have to duck in most of the places because they're so small and everything.
So It's only like, because Hiroshima and Nagasaki is only like one people ago. It's only like one generation ago from the people that you were probably hanging out with. You know what I mean?
We did, we decided the last time that we were there that we were going to rent a nightclub from the Yakuza.
Jesus Christ.
So they let us rent a club. It was probably about twice the size of this, of your whole building here.
Yeah.
And they would come in every once in a while, just
check on
pop
you.
in, make sure we ain't doing dumb shit. You know,
Yeah.
we would every weekend go run the club in Hiroshima.
What the fuck, dude? Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So we would have, obviously, the military's there. And then all the Japanese people would come in. Right across the street was a Japanese national bar. They'd get off of that bar, come over to our club in their suits and everything, because that's what they wear all the time.
It's really like that, huh?
It's really like that.
What a trip, dude.
Yeah, it is. They will go out, get off work, get out drinking till 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Stumbling out the bar in their suits. There they go. And so they would come over to our bar because we stayed open a little bit later. And then when it was closing time, the yak would come, sit outside, make sure we got everything closed down, didn't trash it or anything.
Yeah.
That was what we did other than playing softball.
Yeah.
It's an interesting life to have over there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So you stayed there for a little bit.
I stayed there for another year.
Yeah.
Did some stupid shit there. Probably shouldn't have.
Got it.
You know?
Yeah.
But did also go around, and probably one of the biggest experiences I did was actually going into Peace Memorial Park.
Gotcha.
So our museums, ours are all military, historical, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You go into theirs, and when you first walk in, it's pretty intimidating because obviously me being 6'2" white guy coming into their historical museum, I walk in and the first table is table probably about the size of this stage. And it shows Nagasaki Prefecture to include Hiroshima and other surrounding small cities and everything. And there's a bunch of Japanese people all standing around it. And there's 360 degrees of old school TVs back in the day that were showing like what was going on back at that time on TV.
Yeah.
And then not even 30 feet away is another table.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it gets weird because it shows the destruction. So now you're looking at a table that shows everything that was wiped out.
Right.
They're showing the bombings on the TV. And here I am, what was I, 19 years old? And all these people are staring at me like I'm the one that was there pushing the buttons.
Yeah. Why'd you do that, bro?
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
And everything. So for us to
you
be
hit me
there
first.
Yeah, like, hey, you did it first, but, you know, they don't want consequences. So I started experiencing every Saturday after I got through that. Oh, in their museum was crazy.
Yeah.
So ours are nowhere near as graphic as theirs.
Oh, I bet.
There is a set of 3 red brick stairs, and there is a shadow that's on it. And the story is there was a Japanese national mother sitting there when the blast hit, and it vaporized her and left her shadow on the stairs.
Oh, I've heard this. Yes.
And that's sitting in the museum.
Got it.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory that we never launched a nuke and it was just fire bombings? That we just firebombed Japan? There's a thing. There is a thing right now that people my age are thoroughly convinced that we never dropped nukes on Japan, that it was just a part, because we were firebombing in that time, and they are fully convinced that we firebombed Japan.
I am fully convinced by what I seen firsthand.
There should be no debate, boys. You know what I'm saying?
The destruction,
the
buildings that are still left standing, and everything that's there. Firebombing would not do what it did back then.
Right.
I'll look into it. I like looking up stuff like that.
I think the earth is round and we got nukes.
So to be honest, that it falls in that category.
It's those people.
So I looked into all this because I love this shit, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I looked into that when I saw that for sure. And I don't know, man. That one, someone just did a simple thing. It was like, here's the radius of a firebomb versus
an atomic bomb.
An atomic bomb at that time. You know what I mean? Now it's like 100 times more powerful or something crazy like that. You know what I mean? But it was like, it beat it like 3-1 or something crazy. You know what I mean? But I've seen those, dude, and it's just, I feel like a lot of people in our generation just get bored, bro, and just want to argue.
We're easily convinced.
Is an absolute bad thing.
We're easily convinced because Chris's generation had to get on a plane
We didn't have the internet,
and
bro.
flown to Japan.
Yeah, right.
You know,
to be a man.
And we got
just
to smoke on that plane.
Well, I mean, right, but just like, you know what I mean?
Listen, I'm from Reno, so we smoked cigarettes with our breakfast, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
so, you know.
A lot of people, I mean, the generation above me, you had to go feel, see, smell, and touch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make up your mind. And now some dude in his underwear in his living room can just get online and say something.
Say whatever the fuck.
And then that
with zero
person goes to
context.
his friends and goes, "This is what fucking happened."
Yeah.
Because
Now the world's Earth is flat.
Because this UPS driver fucking told me so. Like, you know,
the only one that I like really am like the most curious about of all that shit is the Antarctica ice wall stuff. Not that the Earth is flat, even though that's where the context comes from. But some of the stuff that they say goes beyond the ice wall in Antarctica, that's one I'll subscribe to just because it's so interesting. You know what I mean?
I only got one conspiracy theory and I came up with it and I'll die on the hill.
That birds?
No, that
yeah,
monkeys are just super inbred humans.
I think that's. I think there's a context.
I think if we came from monkeys, there would be monkeys still turning.
Yeah.
And halfway there. And this is a horrible thing to say, but like I think that there was just a group of people out in a jungle somewhere, and they just kept mating.
Yeah,
I've seen some videos that would make you question that.
Now they're primating.
Not question it as in like it's not true, but you would look and be like, oh, maybe it is.
Yeah.
But
that's the only thing that I think about, like, conspiracy theory wise, that I'll like die on that hill. Like, I think they're just our distant cousin and they were cousins.
Yeah.
Well, they're trainable just like we are, and sometimes people act just like them. So I mean,
my favorite one is the you ever seen Prometheus the movie?
I don't watch a lot.
You seen it's like the alien predator.
Oh, okay.
You know. Anyway, this one is that we were planted here by another civilization, and the way they do it in that movie, I fucking kind of love it. You know what I mean? It's like it makes a lot of sense to me. And again, there's no science behind my thinking here, but it's an interesting concept to think that like we were planted here by.
Well, you got to think somewhere somebody came along and dropped people off and was like, hey,
"That's what I think, dude."
Yeah.
Yeah. You should watch that movie because it did a really, really good job.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV movies. Yeah. I couldn't even actually. You know what the last movie was I watched was Bumblebee.
Fuck yeah,
That's
I like
the
that
last
one too.
movie I watched.
My kids like that one a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what happened after Japan?
Again, back to Camp Pendleton, back to Separations Company.
You didn't get out, did you?
Well, so, all right. I'm even going to tell some dirty shit that I did while I was
You're good.
Sorry. Come to me.
You're good.
While I was in, I had a massive drinking problem because why? All I was doing was playing softball.
Yeah, man.
And so I ended up going to alcohol rehab twice before I was 26. Second one they were going to send me to, I volunteered to go and everything. So
and they didn't kick you out.
No.
That's cool.
And alcohol rehab in the military doesn't teach you to stop either.
What is it? It teaches you how to.
They educate you.
Yeah, I get you.
I know what foods to eat. I know how long it takes this to get through me, all kinds of stuff. Same thing that I assume they teach you on the civilian side, but I went through it twice, and when it came time for me to reenlist, because of the trouble I got into from drinking, they denied my reenlistment. Still got out honorably, so I finished my 8 years. And then from there, I resided in Oceanside. Mm-hmm. Went to work for Upper Deck, the baseball card company.
Get out of here, dude. You got anything cool?
I couldn't because I was inventory control manager.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. You couldn't get one cool card?
No, because
you got a cool card. I know you. I'd have stolen so much shit. Dude, get the fuck out of here. Well, you can't,
because anytime I went into that cage, security was with me. So my job was to do end of project.
What year is that?
1999 to 2001.
So can I guess what the top card was at that time?
You can guess. I already know what
was it. Bonds?
No.
Was it close? Was it McGuire?
No.
Who was it?
It was a Michael Jordan 1-of-1 card.
Oh, no, I meant baseball.
Oh, baseball? Oh, shit. I would say it was one of those two.
It would have been Bonds or McGuire, right?
It would have been
like a McGuire
like
rookie
a jersey card or something like that.
Anyway, so yeah, McGuire jersey card is what you think. Yeah,
it would have been one of those memorabilia cards. I used to go into the memorabilia cage all the time when they were doing stuff. NASCAR tires in there, racing outfits, basketballs, footballs, baseballs, bats, batting gloves, everything that you can imagine.
But the Jordan card was most valued in
at
the
the
whole
time.
building.
And here's why.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad my NDA is done.
Yeah.
So Upper Deck did a pack out in 99, either 99 or 2000. And to complete the set, there was supposed to be this one-of-one, hand-autographed, hand-numbered jersey Michael Jordan card.
Okay.
My job as inventory control manager is after a project is done, is to go do inventory of all the leftover supplies and then go to the security cage where they kept all the memorabilia cards once they were done and do an inventory and make sure nothing got left behind. Because what they do with those is when they're done in the cage, they get escorted to the cage where they're stored at for when the project is done. Security will escort a supervisor over there. He'll pick it up, walk over, randomly drop it into a pack.
Okay.
That's how it's supposed to happen. Well, that did not happen.
Okay.
That card was still in the cage and the pack out was gone. So that will never be a complete set.
Because it's still a top.
That card had to get destroyed.
What?
Can't send it out. The pack out was already sent out. Job was done. So that card got left in the security cage.
And so the most expensive baseball card that ever existed was burned.
Well, at the time, during that time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That card ended up.
Yeah, isn't it a Mickey Mantle card now? Isn't that the most valued card now? Baseball or just overall sports memorabilia?
It's crazy. I used to collect cards prior to going into the military.
Yeah.
Somebody stole them all when I was in boot camp. And now I have about 30,000 sitting in my closet.
I have about 30,000 as well.
I don't ever look at. I don't look them up. I have some pitchies.
I tried to sell some when I was on drugs, but it was like at that time where baseball cards like kind of dipped in value. I think that would have been 2011 and 12. It just wasn't a thing as much. But I remember trying to sell those cards to get high, and I couldn't. I still have them all. So thank God. Maybe God was telling me to hold on to them, dude.
Yeah,
but I had some cool shit. I can't remember now, but
yeah, I have the ones that I got them for free.
Cool.
So one of my friends called me. He's like, "Hey, I know you know stuff about baseball cards." He's like, "I just bought this lot from somebody who had an estate sale or whatever."
Okay.
And it was 60,000 cards plus some file cabinets. And so he called me to come over and check them out. So I did. And then one of my friends that John knows, Keller, went over there with me and we started going through all this stuff, found all the memorabilia cards and told JJ, keep these. You paid for this. You keep these. And he's like, well, you guys split this in half and take it all with you because I don't need it all.
Understood.
And there's still some good cards in there. I've gone through maybe 100 cards just out of ones that I thought might have value. But now they just sit in my closet and they'll go to my kids when I die.
Yeah.
Let them have them. I know I got a Steve Young.
No.
I got a Steve Young hand autographed, hand serialized card.
Yeah.
That'll probably be.
He was always on the Niners?
No.
What card was that? His rookie card?
I have the Niners card, but he was on Tampa Bay.
Right.
First started.
Okay.
But I don't even know how I came across that card. I think somebody gave it to me at some point because I was a Niners fan.
Yeah.
And everything. And I had Joe Montana's rookie card. Somebody decided to stick a thumbtack through it.
Yeah.
Devalued it. Got rid of it.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. Back then, I had a whole bunch of good cards like Malone's rookie card, John Stockton's, everybody when I was living in Utah and everything. But now I don't even know. I just sit there, take up space.
So you got out working there for a little while. Mm-hmm. Your drinking take off, any of that?
No, I actually cut way back only because now I had to actually be responsible. So we had a weekend party at the barracks, just to give you an idea. We went through, in 3 days, 15 cases of beer. Yeah. 2 bottles of Jack, bottle of Cuervo 1800, case of wine coolers, 2 visitors after hours, 2 minors drinking. They were jarheads, but they were drinking. When I got out, I was still playing softball locally, but I wasn't drinking as much because I had to be more responsible, at least in my brain. That's what I told myself. because I had to drive from Oceanside to Carlsbad and everything. It was a good paying job until they hired a new warehouse manager who I fell under. He didn't know what my job was, and they did cutbacks, and they cut me off. They released me saying that they didn't need my position no more. And I was like, all right. So I lived in Hemet, if you know where that's at.
Hemet, California?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I do. I know I've been through there, man. I just can't place it at the top of my head. But
Back when I lived there, you blinked, you missed it. Since then,
yeah, between 395 and
Temecula area. Yeah, that area.
Yeah.
Out further east of Temecula. I lived there for about a year and decided I'm not doing this hour-long commute no more for work. And so I called my mom, who lived up here. I was like, hey, I'm going to come up there and basically restart my life. And that was in 2001.
Yeah.
And then got here and started thinking, I threw away 8 years of my life for the military. I was almost halfway done with my career.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to sign back up and finish it out here in the National Guard. Started out in the Signal unit, was there for about a year, and then jumped over to the Chinook unit.
Dope.
Started working there, supply. Jumped from supply to fueler, aircraft fueler, from aircraft fueler to mechanic, from mechanic to crew chief.
Crazy.
And then became a flight engineer by the time it was all said and done.
Dang.
Deployed to the worst places while in the Guard.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to talk about.
Yeah, Trashcanistan. That's what I call it.
Fuck that place.
It's well, I mean, the first time in 2004 when they selected us, it's because our training environment is a replica of where they were sending us to in Kandahar.
Understood.
We already do high altitude flight training and everything. We go up to Colorado, do flight high altitude training up there at HATS. And so they were like, these guys are a natural fit. You know, we're going to be going over there. We're going to be doing resupply stuff. We're going to be moving troops out into operations, working with SEAL teams and working with, special forces and doing all kinds of missions. For that deployment was a 15-month deployment, and turned out to be, we lost 5 guys there. They were shot down with an RPG September 25th, 2005.
Jesus, fuck. What, I'm sorry, where was in Fallujah?
No, this was in, while we were at Kandahar. We were doing, the Tangi Valley had been shut down due to Taliban activity in that area.
Yeah.
So they finally decided, hey, we're going to open it up, but in order to do that, we need to send some people in to go clear it and make sure it's good. So they sent 3 of our aircraft in, 3 Apaches, and 2 Blackhawks. And it was with the, oh my God, who is it? Dudes over in Germany, 173rd. It was with the 173rd Airborne. Chalk 1 that went in, which happened to be Mustang 2-2. They went in, got down, unloaded their guys, took off, were on the way to the RP, or the rally point where you go meet up and everything before you continue. And they took off and they flew over this rock, huge like moon rock area that was in that area. And some dude rolled out from underneath the rock, fired an RPG. Our guys didn't know it because they're just flying along. It's stuck on the number 1 side, which is the left side, right below the number 1 engine and the aft fuel tank. It's stuck right in between there. Well, on the inside of the aircraft, you have hydraulic fluid lines, you have gas lines and everything. So as they're flying along to go to the RP, they start losing altitude and don't know why. So they start looking down. They realize that they're losing hydraulic pressure and everything. Well, on a Chinook, rotor wash as it goes around, if your ramp is down, it's going to come back in. And so they finally got far enough to where the booster went off on the RPG, and basically it became a fireball that came shooting back inside. They ended up missing a flat spot where it would have been a really, really hard landing. Instead, they went nose into a hill. Chalk 2.
This is your first deployment?
This was my first deployment to Afghanistan. Chalk 2, after they took off, caught up to them and was telling them, hey, you guys are on fire. And unfortunately, those guys got to watch the whole thing go down. And I had just come off of QRF, Quick Reaction Force. We're there in case any crap goes down during the night that we need to respond to or whatever. And I was out with one of the guys who was killed, Pat Stewart. He was basically renewing his relationship with his son. And so right before they took off, I had taken a picture of him inside the Chinook, standing up. He had his hands up like this with the American flag above him and everything. Last picture ever taken of him.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was from here.
Whoa.
Pat Stewart was from here. John Flynn was from here. And then we had Tawny Baum and Adrian Stump, who had only been in country with us for about 3 or 4 months, because he was like 22, 23 years old. He had just gotten out of flight school. And we had one active duty kid with us, Ken Ross. He volunteered to come fly with us because he wasn't doing anything in his unit. His unit allowed him to come fly. He went down on that aircraft too.
Jeez.
So it was I was in my room and they came, and I was talking to my son back here, and they came and knocked on my door. It was my friend Steve, and he was like, hey, you got to go back to the CP. We have an aircraft down. At this time, I didn't know what was going on yet. And so I get back down there. The whole unit is there. And mind you, it was like, what was it, like 160 people, I think, was there. Everybody was down there, and I start seeing people crying, and I'm like, we lost some people.
Yeah.
So then it came time for the ramp ceremony. Once I got the bodies back, got them all taken care of, loaded up onto the C-130 to take them off to Germany. And they called us and were like, hey, you guys need to go to the CP. You guys are getting ready to take off. We were taking a Connex out to the crash site. So.
Is that a retaliatory thing?
No, it wasn't a retaliatory thing. It was the FAA still has to do their investigations even during wartime.
Yeah, of course.
So as they got done loading up, the C-130 took off. No, we took off before the C-130 did. So we left the ramp ceremony, which is what they do when they load up the members before the plane takes off to go take them to Germany. We went, got in our aircraft, picked up our Connex exterior sling load, and took it out to the crash site. It's one thing to hear about it and know that you lost some people that were shot down. It was another when they pulled us in to the area. The 173rd guys that we had dropped off made their way down to that area and secured it for us.
Yeah.
But we came in and dropped the Connex right in front of the aircraft. So I got to see it still smoldering and everything, knowing that that was your guys and everything. So that's probably the biggest thing that sticks with me. That was shitty to see.
Yeah.
You know, knowing those were your people.
Yeah, man.
And you guys still do an event every year for them, right?
Absolutely. Crazy that last year was the 20th anniversary, and we do 2 events a year. In March, as a matter of fact, I just got the email for it yesterday. We do the Mustang 2-2 poker tournament that goes on over at the Elks Lodge over by the Atlantis. I think it's March 27th this year is when it is. Open to everybody. You know, anybody can come play. All the proceeds go to the Mustang 2-2 organization. It goes towards giving scholarships to people, kids and stuff in the military and everything. Because like John Flynn had 2 little kids at the time. I think they were like 11, 12 or 12, 13, somewhere around that time frame. Yeah. Pat had little kids as well and everything. So they figured the best way to give back, raise money and give back to the military community they served by giving it to the kids for college. So that's what we do. And then every September 25th, we have basically a reunion dinner that we come to, that people come and they basically pay tribute to the 5 people that we lost. And it's a huge, it's kind of a quiet environment just because, you know, those of us that were there, we've been there enough now. Most of us talk about it openly, but, you know, some people don't really know how to deal with it. Like, how are these people going to react being in this environment, knowing that it brings back those memories and everything, you know? But that was a interesting deployment. You know, I don't know how. I was the only one in all of flight platoon that never got shot at.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person in flight platoon, pilot, backseater, door gunner, and everything, everybody else got shot at. It took rounds to the aircraft. We had another aircraft we lost December 5th or December 6th. Almost had the same thing happen. They were given intel to go do this mission to drop these people off. And as they flew in to where the landing zone was, there was a tree line there.
Yeah.
Because our S2 doesn't always have the most up-to-date imagery. So they flew in, tree line, can't land there. So they immediately turned around and started going back up this valley. And as they turned around to come back to land in one of the flatter spots, again, RPG, except this one hit the bottom of the ramp and took the aircraft down again. This one was the hard landing. The aircraft was full of Canadian Special Operations people. I don't care what anybody says. I have a crap load of respect for Canadian Special Forces after that.
Didn't no, this is kind of, but isn't there like a thing with Canadians and like
jokes and stuff about their military, or?
Well, no, like the reason, like the Geneva Convention got written from World War II. Wasn't the Canadians like some fucking hard ass motherfuckers?
I'm not really familiar with the Canadians military, because honestly, that was the first time I ever dealt with them. Yeah. We went into Canada while I was at school. They went into Canada to do an annual training, 2-week training right before we deployed. But there was no interaction with the Canadian military or anything.
I like Canada, man. It's like Finland just played Canada.
Uh-huh.
And there's a pretty bad brawl. I don't know, man. It pissed me off. I was like, fucking with our neighbors, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, and fuck Finland. I fucking hate Finnish people, dude. You know what I mean? So, you know. But no, I know exactly what you're talking. You could probably look it up, bro. But I'm almost positive. Well, back then, the Canadian military was no fucking joke, dude.
Yeah,
it's still no joke.
I'm pretty sure
there's still
the Canadian is like half of the Geneva Convention is because of Canada.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. Those dudes, what they did for our guys. So once they got shot down, Kansoff dudes wasted no time in jumping out and jumping in this gunfight.
Yeah.
And they ensured, we had one of our guys, part of our brief is if something like that happens and you go down, 6, 3, 9 are your egress points in that order. And then 12 o'clock is as an absolute last resort. The blades on a Chinook will drop 4 feet as they're slowing down and everything. And then depending on the grade of the ground that you're on, it's going to put it lower to the ground.
Yeah.
Well, one of our guys went out the door and his first thought was to run to the front of the aircraft. I don't know if you know what a 29-foot blade feels like when it hits you in the head while it's rotating, but he found out. Knocked him out cold.
He
knocked him out cold.
He didn't die.
He didn't die.
He didn't. Holy shit.
They were already doing emergency shutdown procedures, so the blades were already slowing down. But even that long of a blade and that weight with force, it just knocked him out. Took his helmet, the visor part that's on it that we slide down, it ripped a gouge in his nose, knocked him out cold. Kansoff dudes walked over there, grabbed him, and drug him over to this hillside that they set up a defensive position in to allow our guys to climb this mountain, because it was a Black Hawk that was going to come in and pick them up to get them out of there. Because what we have on the aircraft, we have mounted guns and everything, but if that aircraft goes down and crashes, those guns are going with it. So that aircraft went down, crashed hard, broke the 240s on the mounts that they were on and everything. And so the only thing that you have left at that time was an M4. Well, there's only 2 extra M4s and you have 5 crew members. Now, we all had pistols. I'm not bringing a pistol to an AK fight. Not happening.
Yeah.
So the Kansoff dudes saved those dudes' lives, covered them until they got to the top of the hill. Black Hawk came in, picked them up, and aircraft died there. It stayed burned to the ground.
And this is still your first deployment?
This is still first deployment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, first deployment.
How many deployments did you have here with the Guard?
I only went on 2 here. I was supposed to go on a 3rd.
Was the second one that wild?
Well, it would be my 3rd. Oh, let me get when we get to the 3rd.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, that was rough. During that first deployment, that was the whole lone survivor issue that happened 2 months before, 3 months, in June of 2005. That's when lone survivor happened, and so that was going on. That debacle happened. We lost, I think, that year something like 15 or 16 aircraft, like combined for everybody that was there, and most of them were Chinooks, because they look at us and they're like, "Oh, the big bird in the sky, shoot it down," because they know that there's people on board that are coming to kill them. So
you have a great nickname for those Chinooks.
Oh, the shit, or which ones?
Shit
The palm trees fuck, 2 palm trees fucking the dumpster.
Oh man,
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either shit hooks, 2 palm trees fucking a dumpster.
Yeah.
That's what we call them.
Those are my favorite, bro.
They're a blast to fly on. Yeah, until that'll story I'll get to later.
Yeah,
of why I'm terrified to fly now. So a whole crap load of incidents happened. We became, one of the missions I was on, we became known as the Wedding Crashers, because there was a purported Taliban wedding that was going on.
Yeah.
So
we can't let that happen.
Yeah. Can't let that happen. And so we got some intel that came back to us.
How we doing? You do in Fallujah, dog, you know?
Well,
seems pretty boring.
Well, that's in Iraq. We were in Afghanistan, in Kandahar.
Excuse me.
We were in Kandahar.
Yeah. Even gayer. Yeah.
Our night missions, you catch motherfuckers fucking goats out in their little yards and stuff like that. So,
Jesus.
I say it with all intents and purposes. I've witnessed it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's not racist.
Don't tell me you're not.
Yeah.
And everything. But somehow.
Do you think they fuck them before they like trade them for somebody's daughter or something?
No. So
I'm also curious.
So let me tell you that.
Like one last time for the one time, you know?
Who are you going to have watching this? All kinds of people?
They do with goats, dude. I eat goats.
We're like on track. We're like on track
milk,
for like 10 million interactions.
Okay. Well, you're going to love this part. All right.
Yeah.
So, it is traditionally known that on Thursdays, it's called Thursdays. And there's a reason. So Thursdays is called Man Love Thursdays.
So this is all new to me, and I'm hearing about the whole man love.
Well,
thing.
Here you go. So what it is, and this is their disgusting side, is because this is where it involves kids.
Yeah.
This
is the little boys.
Yes.
Right.
And even, some teenagers and stuff. You'll see them walking, like when we would go out into the towns and stuff, whenever we did, you would see them trolling their little man love boy behind them, who would have makeup on, fingernail polish, and all kinds of shit.
What the fuck?
Over there, in their culture, women are only for breeding. Thursdays was when they would do their gay acts with kids or men or whatever, because then the next day they would go to be forgiven for their sins. Well, I'm sorry, if you're using kids as a sexual exploitation, we should have made it a glass parking lot.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Just blow it up.
So we would see that shit all over. We would go out to like Kalat, out into the town, other smaller bases. We would go out in town, and it was usually to go out there and show them that, hey, we're here actually trying to help you guys, not to kill you guys. That worked really good until the Department of Defense said, we're just going to send over some Hueys and we're going to start destroying all their drug fields, because that's how they lived. They survived in Afghanistan.
I think we brought that up here. They're like, at that one point, they were 90% of the world's opium.
Yep, absolutely.
That shit's nuts.
100%.
And we were guarding their fields for a long time.
Well, they had us guarding them for a while, and the cool thing is we used to go do some of these missions where we would have to use some of their land to drop people off to go do these missions, and we had no problems with them. until the fucking, actually it was the State Department that came in and started doing it, not Department of Defense. State Department came in, started flying these tan camouflage Hueys in, dropping people off, and they would go start lighting their opium fields on fire. And we're like, you need to grow wheat and all this stuff. And it's like, the money difference, crazy.
Yeah.
And so that turned the Afghan people, because they don't know how to distinguish between this helicopter coming in and this helicopter coming in. Are they coming to destroy my shit? So they started shooting back at the U.S. helicopters. Yeah. Thanks, State Department. So they're trying to fight a war on drugs as we're trying to fight a war. More government failure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But that all went on during that deployment. That first deployment was fun. I mean, there was a lot of shit that we got to endure. And that was a 15-month. That was back when you were literally year door to door in country, whereas on my other deployments, it was a year total.
Yeah.
So for the National Guard, when we leave, we went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Yeah. We're there for like 3 months to do our train up and everything to get certified that we know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
And then we go to Afghanistan for a year.
Yeah.
The next time.
How do you get Chinooks in Afghanistan?
Take them apart. They fly them on C-17s. So literally, you get up on top, you take all the blades off, take all the rotor heads off, take the aft pylon off, and it basically looks like a dildo.
Nice.
And they load it onto a C-17. And C-17, C-17s. That's what we flew them in on.
Just like
little. My wife is listening to this, so she can be so grateful that she can read books and shit. I show her face, her nose, and her ankles.
Little things like this is like a real reminder that our government will go to any and every length that the taxpayer dollar will go to fuck you up. We'll put planes in other planes to come fuck you up.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll put a helicopter in there, and then we'll put a Humvee behind it, and then we'll put 60 passengers on it.
Yeah.
And off we go.
They're all coming to fuck your ass out, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I mean, I'm sure.
Take your oil, dude.
I'm sure Afghanistan. I'm sure they figured it out. Like once a year. Oh, here comes freaking March again. Here comes the trail of freaking airplanes coming in.
What's so special about March?
Yeah.
I was just picking a month for like rotations.
Oh, I get it. Like
all of a sudden there's 9 C-17s coming in.
Yeah.
Dropping a unit off that all have all our helicopters on them and everything. Then we got to get off the aircraft, get all our shit together, and then put the aircraft together. And then go.
What do you think about the exit
debacle,
bro?
So I was actually on the news. Me and
it's not a political thing. I just want to elaborate to any listeners. It's a fucking travesty. Regardless, it's a bipartisan travesty. How the exit happened, man. Because,
so you'll get a lot more ideas on how fucked up it was when I start telling you about my last deployment.
Okay.
Because we were in that region. It was 2012, 2013, but I can tell you how that region was already before the exit even happened. So other than the rest of the missions that we did, it was fun. I mean, that experience, you want to talk about adrenaline rush every time you go do something. It's the whole fear of not knowing what the hell's going to happen second to second. It's the different types of missions we did. We would do, sling load missions where we're moving 155 howitzers from one place to another, or just going and setting it up on a hill where these people are going to establish a base, or we're taking, the wedding we crashed.
Yeah.
Let me finish that story.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, before we get into that, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick, bro.
Absolutely.
Pause this real quick. We'll be right back. I don't know about you guys, but if you have ever been down on your motorcycle, gotten hit, somebody had no insurance, anything like that, you feel like there's nobody around to help you out, but Law Tigers Motorcycle Attorneys is the way to go. You need to get these guys, just save them in your phone if you have to. Law Tigers is there to help bikers. It's bikers for bikers. These guys ride motorcycles, and they will take care of you. They're personally handling claims and will be the biggest advocate for anybody on two wheels. Check out Law Tigers Motorcycle Attorneys and a sponsor of 4th Street Live. Thanks so much. There's only one place in town I take my Harley-Davidson motorcycle to, and that is Slabs Sides Motorcycle Shop on Glendale Avenue in Reno. If you're looking for a tune-up, customizing your motorcycle, bars, exhaust, They've got everything you need and one of the best hourly rates in town for any of your motorcycle repair stuff. Go check out Slab Size Motorcycle Shop.
This isn't a story about crime. It's a story about what happens when the railroad becomes something else. Critics are raving about Green's new novel, a gripping blend of reality and fiction. Written by Jacob Green, inspired by real life on the railroad and in the outlaw motorcycle world. A secret network of hitmen, contracts hidden inside of steel spikes, and an underground world as old as the rail itself. Couldn't put it down, never lost interest, a story you don't see coming. The Rail Runner, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Looking for the best sandwich in Reno? Look no further. The Sandwich Spot has you covered with 2 convenient locations. Visit us at 2002 Sierra Highlands Drive or 6775 Sierra Center Parkway, Suite 100. We're open daily and ready to serve you the most delicious sandwiches around. Come taste the difference at the Sandwich Spot and tune into 4th Street Live Podcast. New episodes weekly.
Everybody. All right, we're back, everybody. Sorry about that. So, yeah, your Taliban wedding crasher story, bro. I'm ready.
So we get I was on QRF again, and we get called in that we're getting ready to launch on a mission. There's a purported Taliban wedding, and we're going to take 60 dudes out to go break it up. Well, I mean, that's a hell of a wedding crash if you ask me. So we start flying out there. We got 2 Chinooks, 2 Apaches, and a Blackhawk with us. And the Apache flies ahead of us, as he always does, to go ensure it's clear for us to come in. And he's out there flying around, and he's like, you guys ain't going to believe this. They down here dancing, having a good old time. Have no idea what's coming. So we're like, all right. So we get ready as we're coming in there, and we get on the ground, and people from the wedding party start running towards us. We're like, what the fuck? We're unloading all of our 30 guys from each aircraft. And they're like, no, this isn't a Taliban wedding, but we'll tell you where they are. We're like, all right, cool. So they tell us where they are. We pick up, head back to Kandahar, go pick up some humanitarian pallets, bring it back out there to them, drop it off to them, and load our guys back up. And then we picked up and went like maybe 2 miles away and sat down in this village. Literally, this village was one road strip, the exit on each end. So we put a Chinook on each end, unloaded 60 dudes into the middle of it, and then you just see the roaches, Taliban dudes taking off. They're running out of the village, running everywhere. Our guys are now chasing them, and now it's on. But before we got to see anything else, we had to get out of there. Turn around, shoot at the big bird sitting on the ground, you know. So we got up off the ground, and we're flying on our way out of there, and it looks like they're playing freaking freeze tag out on the battlefield, because they're chasing these dudes down, trying to go get them all. There was probably about 15 to 20 of them that just took off running once they saw us coming in, because we can't sneak up on nobody. Chinooks are so freaking loud. They heard us when we came in, I'm assuming the first time, but we didn't land in their backyard.
Right.
Second time we came in, and they were like, oh shit, gotta go. And so they took off running. 173rd dudes took off after them, captured a bunch of them. We brought them back. I still got pictures of that.
That's a fucking wild one,
dude. That's fun. We got them in the aircraft.
That's a movie by itself, bro.
Yeah, you know? Just watching it.
Wedding crasher, dude.
So it made international news.
Yeah.
And so the next day, I called my mom to talk to my mom, and she's like, are you guys really over there crashing weddings? I was like,
fuck yeah.
How did you hear about that?
America, fuck yeah.
She's like, it was on the news.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yes, we were. And so we took a picture with us. When we got back to Kandahar, we had made another stop, picked up some off-road dirt bikes and stuff that the SEALs use to go do their missions and stuff. And so we took a picture of all of us pyramid stacked, and that picture became the Wedding Crashers photo. So it's the pilots on the bikes, and then the backseaters and the door gunner all stacked on top of them. That's how we became the Wedding Crashers. So that became my nickname over there.
Damn, dude.
Fun
That's
stuff.
A fucking cool one, man.
Yeah, you get to do just random missions that turn into international news.
Fuck,
you
dude.
know. But yeah, it's interesting.
So you came back for a little bit?
We came back for a little bit. 2006 when we came back, went back to my normal life, playing softball, raising kids, you know, doing that stuff. And then 2009, my life was kind of a train wreck because of my ex. But apparently while I was gone the first time, she decided to spend a shit ton of money while I was gone. I can't track it. I can't do anything. All I know is I had friends telling me, hey, she's spending all kinds of money.
Damn, I cannot imagine.
Oh, the fury.
The level of
anger.
And you, what, dude, you can't control it.
Yeah,
Dude.
there's
That's
nothing I can
the
do.
worst is fucking nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do. So
that's a certain kind of fucking person that can do some shit like that. I'm sorry, bro.
Well, unfortunately, there is a plethora of them that absolutely take advantage of it. And it's
my wife
disgusting.
does that when I'm out of town for a day, dude. You know what I mean? So
now,
I can't
put a year behind it.
Yeah.
And you can't even see your bank account to see what's in it.
Right, bro.
I had no idea.
You can't have a cell phone?
Over there at that point? Yeah, what signal are you going to get?
Right, I forget. Yeah.
I mean, you're literally in central Nevada.
Yeah.
Minus the cellular service out there that we have in Nevada. You're literally in central Nevada on a base.
Yeah.
And cell service. We had barely any internet going back then.
Yeah.
Back then we had MySpace. And so that's what I would use to talk to my kids and talk to my wife back then and see what was going on. But
is there anything you can tell us about Area S4?
About what?
Area 51.
Area 51, I don't know nothing about. I haven't jumped into that rabbit hole or
No,
anything.
I just figured because just another Nevada Air Guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
like,
I think the Air Guard would know more than the Army National Guard. Because the Air Guard, I'm sure they probably take planes in there.
Yeah.
But
you never flew a Chinook into Area 51?
No, we used to fly. Anytime we headed down that way, we usually stopped at Creech Air Force Base, right outside of Vegas.
Yeah,
you know?
I love watching the drones take off from Creech.
Yeah, dude, you know what's crazy?
Yeah,
is the drones that they flew in Afghanistan. So the guys.
So do they fly them from fucking Creech all the way over there?
No.
Okay, all right.
So,
I was just curious.
Here's what they do.
Why do they even have them then?
Is the guys on the ground in country will launch them.
Right.
The guys at Creech basically sit in a Connex that is set up as like a video game room, and they will control them from there. And so you got all these drones flying around being flown by people who ain't even in country. They're
so
back
are the
here.
ones at Creech practice kind of ones, or do you know?
No, they can actually be used.
Go there. Yeah,
they can be used.
I get you. But I get what you're saying. If they're overseas, they can fly right from Creech.
They can fly them from Creech.
What
Crazy.
a trip.
Yeah. And we would see them all the time when we're out flying around, especially when you're doing Navy SEAL missions. Navy SEALs have a huge requirement when they're doing their missions as far as it's called the stack that goes up on top. So like when we would do missions with them, it would be us on the bottom level and Chinooks right parallel with us in the same airspace would be an Apache. Right. You know, that's our protection at that altitude and everything. There would be a CNC Black Hawk up above us. Then up above that is when you would get into like your A-10s or your drones, and then up above them would be the Spectre 130 gunships.
Yeah.
That's their stacks that they use.
Call that the motherfuckers. So
tight. Yeah, and you don't even know it. You know, we take off. We're like, oh, we're doing a SEAL mission. Oh, forget about the 5 other aircraft that are above us.
Right, that thing's $1 million a flight or something crazy.
A drone?
No.
The Chinook?
Yeah.
Oh,
something crazy like that.
So, like when we used to do firefighting here in the country, in the States, it was $10,000 a man hour.
Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable.
I think for a Chinook, there's
all the Chinooks here are they all Army National Guard?
Yes,
they are.
Yeah.
So all the ones you see over town.
All the ones. Well, so you'll have some from out of town that may be stumped because over in California at the AVCRAD, that's where the major maintenance gets done and stuff like that, huge phases and stuff like that. So we'll have other states that'll fly through here on the way to California, but 90% of the time, the ones you see flying around here would be us out here. Or
did you ever see anything weird?
Actually, I did down in Beatty. We were flying to Vegas.
Okay.
They have cave dwellers down there. I didn't.
Bro, are you listening?
Yeah. So we were
fucking cave dwellers, huh?
We were flying.
That's where the Hills Have Eyes people are at.
Yes.
Yes. You know.
So
what I mean?
we were flying along on the
not aliens.
No, not aliens.
Dwellers.
People. Yeah,
Fuck.
people.
Yeah.
So we were flying along just outside of Beatty along the hillside and everything, and we started to make the left to start heading south, and we come around this hill, and all of a sudden, all these people come running out of this cave and start waving at us. They had flags up everywhere, like it was.
Those might have just been people in Beatty. They're that weird.
Well, it could be, but I mean, they look like they lived there.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, I was like, you motherfuckers really live in a
that is
cave
pretty
down
weird.
here?
Yeah, Beatty's a shithole, dude.
Other than that, most of the stuff you see, you just go flying along, and we used to go up to Tahoe and cruise the beach, drop down low altitude, cruise the coastline.
Whoa.
Up to Donner. I mean,
so sick.
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
That's a
like
beautiful
that.
thing, man.
Yeah, it is. We used to. I used to live in the pathway of the Reno Tahoe, and we would have the kids from the neighborhood come out in the yard or in the street, and we would come do a low fly, fucking just circle the neighborhood, shake every fucking house.
Yeah.
And, you know, all the kids are laughing. All the parents come out and say, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on?
That's funny.
It's just
man.
us.
No, I was curious. Yeah. I don't know if you follow Commander David Fravor or any of the other UFO shit that comes out, you know, but no, it seems to be a type, but it's all down there in San Diego.
Oh, that would not surprise me.
Yeah. Was it one of them? I can't remember which one, but one of them was in Camp Pendleton.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And it was right off the coast, and I can't remember it was which video it was, but I guess there's a lot of activity out there.
A lot of UFO activity
for sure.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
you're
subscribe to that.
coast.
I don't have no proof, no experience. You know what I mean? I just love it because I'm from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they talk about the at Pendleton all the.
You would have to be pretty silly to think that we're the only ones in this
I
world.
do. I think about that a lot. We had another guy on that talked about the odds, just the odds.
Yeah.
Of how unlikely we are alone in the universe, right? And it's like it's zero,
yeah,
right? You know what I mean? Like it's like he has he's a UNR professor who did a full math equation on it. You know, I don't fucking know what it was.
There's no way for somebody to think that we were the only ones put on this earth. There's other people.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no way we could not be. I mean, I don't know.
I love all that shit.
I think sooner or later it's going to come out, you know?
Yeah, well, it's coming out more. There's a new documentary out, Age of Disclosure, which is really good. It's got high-level, real people in Trump's cabinet, you know what I mean, coming out and saying, no, this is a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's insanely interesting, you know, and but a lot of what it alluded to, I think, was more like, these are not. Here's where I lose a lot of when I hear people talking about reptilians or, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, all right, man, I smoked that drug too. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but and then maybe they're totally right. Who fucking knows? But then when people talk about like Commander David Fravor and some of these Air Force and Army pilots, and they're talking about how, you know, they're perfectly credible human beings, not quacks, dude. And they're talking about, you know, no, these are drones. You know what I mean? That seems pretty reasonable to me, dude. You know
what I do believe is that a lot of this stuff is a show put on by our own government.
Whoa! So there's a lot of people that talk about that too.
I do believe that is.
Do you think that there's military aircraft that we don't know about? Just in your opinion?
In my opinion, that we don't know about. Military aircraft, I would say no. Aircraft in general,
okay,
I would probably say yes.
Yeah.
Because these don't, I think they use them for attention. And John told me not to get into politics. This is going to be my only politic part.
You can get into I know you. better than a lot of people, and I've sat in your garage.
I used to smoke crack
for hours.
So nobody should listen to anything I have to say about fucking anything. You know what I mean? Like, do not subscribe to any of my opinions.
No. Like, Chris is very hard nosed in his belief, and we're just getting started. When we're uncancelable, we'll have you back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get too deep into it, but
we are fucking uncancelable.
Here is what I think is a matter of convenience, if you will. Everybody knows what black flag operations are, right?
Yeah.
There's always some distraction that comes up to hide something that has either just happened, like the shooting in Minnesota with the ice and everything, or there's something that is going to come up that they need to deter people from paying attention to.
I believe
so. We can throw something up in the sky, whether it be hologram or whatever type of technology they're using or something, and distract people, and they'll be like, not thinking about what's actually going on.
Yeah.
I believe that.
I'm not opposed to that as well. I do think, I'm not. I don't put it past anything in the government these days, dude. You know, like there's like, again, not to get into political, but the way Venezuela went down, just regardless of the party, they openly came out and said, you know, we did this on New Year's Day. Well, people wouldn't be thinking about it.
Exactly.
I mean, that rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Regardless of what we're doing there, you know, it was a little like, you're intentionally saying you're coming out being sneaky. At least they're saying that they're doing it. You know what I mean? That's progress, I guess.
Well, I mean,
this is
just all this shit with U.S. aid. What they use U.S. aid for to fucking to like dismantle shit, you know. And I mean, if they're doing it, we got to be doing it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just the rules. You know, if you're cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah.
Or if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Every country's cheating. It's just a matter of what level.
Right. Exactly. So if other countries are in here trying to disrupt us, like that old speech about what a Soviet would do to dismantle America, like, I wouldn't.
Oh, from 20 years ago.
From
40 years ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't launch bombs.
That's such a fucking
I would just
crazy.
dismantle your children. And that freaks me out when you look around nowadays. You know what I mean?
Look
because
up
it's like
who
it's
that
working.
Is? What that speech was, bro? Or do you know off the top of your head?
It's been played 100 times, but it's...
Yeah, he's a Marxist. Do you know what he's talking about?
No.
It was a Marxist Russian, and he openly talked about how he would dismantle the
USA.
The USA.
And you start with the kids.
And what it is almost a spitting image of kind of what's happening today.
Create a generational gap.
You know?
Right.
Well, and
create a lot of soft,
yes,
fucking and distrust. Distrust in your neighbors, distrust in your government.
Yeah, right.
And I think for us to be on top the way we are, we got to do a lot of little silly shit. We got to do a lot of sideways shit. We got to fight unfair games, and we got to do shit that doesn't make sense to people. And I speak about, like, I use COVID for an example all the time, that people were not prepared for real fucking life because a cold came around. And it was utter panic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's people in this world.
This is where I lost all my trust for the government.
Well, I mean, there's people in this world, and Chris has seen these people that live in a world that we couldn't comprehend, that we couldn't imagine doing every day. We complain when somebody cuts us off in traffic. Your neighbor might kill you and your children.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that happens today. You know, and so I don't ever know which way to go because I'm like, you know what? There's a genocide happening in China. We just kidnapped a president. Like, okay, he's alive. Like, we didn't bomb the whole country.
You know why he's alive?
I mean, it looks good.
we'll get into that later.
Well, I don't know, man. Well, the thing with COVID is like I said, I come from. I'm not going to have the same opinions as anyone else, right? Generationally, just because we grew up different, right? But you know, like I've talked about this on the show, my mom's a staunch liberal. And I still have a lot of liberal ideologies. You know what I mean? I think I want as little government in my life as possible. Just like
that's
I want
what it should be.
Right.
I want to have them.
I want as little authority in my life as possible. And I've always been of the type where if you're telling me what the fuck to do, man,
how to live,
look where we're at.
Yeah.
You know how I operate. I'm in a motorcycle club, man. You know what I mean? I just am anti tell me what the fuck to do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And if I was in a club where it was like, hey, you got to do what we say, I wouldn't be a part of it. You know what I mean? I'm in a club that is like, the rules we have are like, don't lie and cheat and steal. You know what I'm saying?
You mean morals?
Like, yeah, morals, bro. These are not like life altering things. You know what I mean? It's not like nobody's telling me what the fuck to do. I don't tell anybody what to do. Yeah. But it's like, immediately, I always question whatever that is, and that's probably some of the alcoholic in me. You know what I mean? But
no, that's called natural instinct.
For sure, I feel like that naturally, and then when it all went down, everybody, I just didn't co-sign any of that shit, and I immediately was listening to, man, when they're talking about Wuhan in the lab, that was the big, people were getting canceled on the internet,
Chris
fired
is
from their
sweating
jobs.
right now.
You know what I'm saying? You're good. People were getting fired from their jobs. People were getting fucking friends of mine. First of all, let me back up. People died. That's a miserable, sad thing. Yeah. And it's sad. Yep. And there's no taking away from that. People fucking died. And I'm sorry that people died. But those people now statistically could have also died from another cold. You know what I mean? And that's sad too. But what I'm getting at is, I remember talking about Wuhan and then having people in my family look at me like I was fucking crazy. Like I was like I was the scum of the earth for having an opinion. Out. Right. That's just what happened now. And it's just accepted that, and that's not, it's not a theory. That's just the fact now.
Have any of those people come back to you and apologize?
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. But like now, now CDC is just like, oh, that's what happened. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck?
They're announcing it.
Dude, so now it's like, I really distrust the government largely. You know what I mean? And,
when
they
decided.
And part of what I was getting at with the age of disclosure thing and how this relates is they talk about the reason that they don't have to put out all the information all the time is because they can outweigh the president, right? The people behind the people can outweigh the president.
Yes.
And, that's something to think about,
That comment brought something up for me because I was seeing the other day, I'm like, man, this guy, Trump, he's moving quick. He's doing a lot of shit. And like, I kind of had like a panic moment and like filled the fucking pantry with beans the other day because like, I think as I get older and I'm like developing my political beliefs, I'm more of a nationalist than anything. You know what I mean? I'm way more of I really don't give a fuck what's going on over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To a point. You know what I mean? Like if there's something happening in this world and a bunch of countries, like it's like absolutely atrocious, like we should collectively go, no, that's fucking terrible. Let's stop that. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's a genocide happening in China right now. There's a genocide happening in North Korea right now. We don't give a fuck about that. But there's a lot of other stuff we give a fuck about and it doesn't make sense to me. And so outweighing the president, I wonder if that's in some of this cabinet's think like, hey, we got to do this shit now, because if we don't do this shit now, it'll never happen. It'll never get done. Even though Venezuela is not Russia, it's not China, but
they have nukes.
But to go into an established country and just fucking capture the whole flag in 45 minutes is a big deal.
There's more we're going to know about that in 20 years that we would have never thought.
And then the next day he gets on the fucking airplane and Lindsey Graham's like, Iran, you're next. I'm like, oh shit. Fucking, you know what I mean? My kid's going to have to fight that.
Can we get Greenland though? Because I'd like Greenland.
My kid's going to have to fight that war.
That's huge gains for us.
Yeah.
But like my kid's going to have to fight that fucking war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is a toss up where I don't agree with like a lot of shit. You know what I mean? If people in Venezuela are being oppressed and like they take all their shit and whatever, that's happening everywhere. And if there's a gain for us, then cool. But my kid's going to have to fight that fucking war if you go launching bombs into Iran. You know what I mean? Me and you talked about this on the phone, Chris. You got to fight a war with people shooting at you with weapons we left there 30 years ago. And we just did that again.
And the Russians left there.
And we just did that again. So when my kid turns 18, is he going to have to go fight a war with $8 billion left of fucking equipment left
with
over
better
there?
Technology than what they had the first time.
Right. And now other countries are so good, they're handing that shit over. Like, how do we make parts? How do we make more? How do we fly these things? And now we're gonna have to go fight Taliban with Blackhawks? Like, fuck that.
Yeah, it's
Nobody.
I'm working right now. You go to the bathroom, dog. Hey, have a good pee, dude. All right. Tell us about it. All right.
oh man.
It's my guy, dude. It's okay.
He talks about you more than anybody I know.
Yeah. You're good.
So,
anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Anyway, so in regards to what you were talking about with, trying to outlast the president and everything, and what John was saying about why is he going so fast? I have a different thought on it. So the first term he was there, he didn't know who he could trust.
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't know who he could trust. He brought people on, and then those people exposed true colors, got let go and everything. And I think this time he's now had 8 years to get an understanding of what is really going on.
Yeah.
And what he is doing, in my personal opinion, is he is tackling everything so fast so that they can't keep up, to give them time to try to destroy any thoughts or anything he's putting out on why things are being done, or, like, let's just look at the fraud. That came out of nowhere.
Right.
And that from some kid just wandered down the street with a camera with a dude with them with the receipts. They know this has been going on for years, within those countries or within those states. Every state does it. I'll get into ours in a minute. But that hit, and now they just tackled it. Now there's agents going to California, New York, Chicago. They're going everywhere now to expose it. If he sat on it and waited for Minnesota to develop into whatever it's going to develop into, with if anybody goes to jail or whatever, all these other states would have had time to go in and be like, hey, you need to hide this shit. Like, we can't do it. But now, hit the ground running, go. All this other stuff that's going on, just keep going. Don't stop. These other countries that are hit, he's talking about Iran. They're talking about hitting Iran. Get rid of these puppets that the U.S. government in.
Yeah.
That's what we need to get rid of. If we're gonna fix our own, you got to get rid of the outsiders.
The problem with the immigration thing is people talk about it in terms of absolutes, right? And it's like, it's either absolutely all good or it's absolutely all bad. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, there's lots of nuance and middle ground. The problem, I just watched this thing the other day, and it was, 3 Marines who you appreciate that got deported. A South Korean Marine who was
with his his back record of all of the drugs and everything.
Yeah, it was drugs and shit, right? And I get that. I just empathize with it. You know what I mean? And it's like the argument was, all immigration must be bad because you're deporting these Marines who are good people, right? And the argument was it Tulsi Gabbard? It was, well,
I love that woman.
Tulsi Gabbard?
I love that. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get.
Not in politics. I just want to take her on a date.
Yeah, she's fucking hot, dude. She's
way
hot.
You just like that gray streak, huh?
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
She looks like fucking a supervillain, dude.
Yeah.
She looks like Shiva, dude, or whatever that girl's name was from Kim Possible. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was. I don't know. My context on that is just, I just think there's gray area and there's nuance. I also agree with not having to worry about, I think every other fucking country in the world has a secure border. And I think we're doing.
They do.
We're doing a backlog.
And
you know
actually
what I mean?
enforce our laws. So here was my.
And a lot of other countries are way not forgiving at their
You'll go to
border.
jail. You'll go to jail for a long time.
Yeah, well, like, I'm not.
Or the solution to the immigration thing, and in my opinion, could work. I don't care how anybody looks at it. What does it typically take nowadays? 6 to 7 years to get citizenship?
I have no idea.
Is estimated time.
If you're perfect, it takes a while. Okay,
so if you take whoever, whatever country, I don't care what country you are, and you want to come to the United States, cool. Sign this contract for 6 years. You'll serve in the military. You'll prove your loyalty.
I don't disagree
to the country. In the process of you serving that 6 years, your immediate family comes with you. So your wife, your kids, they get to come with you and be with you. They're going to get the medical coverage. They're going to get all that. You're going to do your time. You're going to get housing because you're going to be on base and stuff like that. At the end of your 6 years, here's your citizenship. You're done. And now,
wasn't that a thing at one point?
What would be the vetting? What would be the vetting? Though?
See, that's the only thing.
Like,
Is then
you can have all kinds of people try it.
And didn't we find a bunch of? Wasn't it like a year or two? We caught a fucking Chinese dude in our military sending stuff back.
We got white kids that were doing it, and they were intel.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you can't trust your own,
I mean,
and
Edward Snowden's still in Russia, so there's that.
That's my guy, dude.
Fucking travesty.
You don't put these people into positions like intel.
Yeah.
Make them earthwalkers. You know, that's what I call grunts. Earthwalkers. Because that's their whole job. And, you know, make them do that and prove their loyalty at the end of their contract. If they choose to stay in, that's on them. But after that contract, here's your citizenship. Good job. Your family gets it as well because they were here supporting you on your contract. That's how I would solve.
I do understand. I don't think that nobody welcome in is the answer. You know what I mean?
We wouldn't have this country if nobody was welcome in.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah. And, but I, and like you said, I just feel like I have a more nuanced view on it. I definitely, I am sad for these families, and I do know a lot of hardworking people that fucking do it. But I also know that, unfortunately, here's what it comes down to: the glass you got to drink, right? Is if we do it this way, you're opening, you know, for all those good people that you love and care about to be here, the way that they got here, it also allowed some bad people to come here. And if it comes to the safety of my kids and my community and what I got going on, I'm sorry. I'm gonna pick my kids.
You got to draw that line.
I do, but I do want you here. You know what I mean? I do want them all here. You know, yep. I want everybody here, but I think that it's important that it is done in a way. But what does suck is 7 years is crazy. You know what I mean?
I heard,
and I do. I think if there was a way that we could do that with the military, and I'm sure that in 2026 there's some kind of advanced vetting process. But I think that you're onto something. You know what I mean? And I think that there's something to that.
I've heard an idea of people that they proposed. You come here, you get a job, and if you have any lapses in that job that go too long, you go. Like if you come here and all of a sudden you're not paying taxes for a year, you go. But the strategy is you come here, and then if you get a really good job or you get a really poor job, would kind of dictate the time, because it'd be the amount of taxes you pay would grant you. Like you've worked for so long, we have a number that we're tracking on you. Like you've now paid $40,000 in federal taxes. You just bought your citizenship.
So when they get rid of the taxes here pretty soon, then how would you do it?
Well, that was just an idea proposed. That was just, but like
I don't pay those fuckers anyway.
But like,
no, I'm just kidding.
That was just like, you are contributing on paper to not to state taxes, but to federal taxes.
Yeah.
And so like when you reach that number, you've bought your citizenship. And Trump even announced that he wanted to start a program where like, if you got, I forgot the number, I'm just going to throw it. If you got $5, it's like 20 grand or something. You can just buy it and come in and we'll vet you. But, and yeah.
Really got to question that vetting program though, because they said they vetted everybody from Afghanistan.
Yeah,
we see how well that's working out, and Somalia.
It's not everybody from fucking Somalia, but you're fucking ruining it for the good people.
10% ruin 90% in every culture. I don't care.
That is just sad. Yep. It's not a political stance. It's just a sad thing, man.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? I think a big thing we miss too as Americans, and I think every single one of us miss this, including me, is that this country's 250 years old. In the grand scheme of country, empire building, nation building. We are.
Rome was 1,000 at the fall.
Dude, we're itty bitty. We don't know what the fuck's going on yet. You know, we're like
still in diapers.
Yeah, right. And so like we're all pushing and pulling when we could just be pushing against the one thing. I make a joke about all the time about January 6th. I make a big joke all the time. I was watching it in a room full of liberal people, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this happen. I'm like, holy shit, they finally attacked the right building.
Yeah.
They didn't burn down the neighborhood Taco Bell and JCPenney and fucking take over the police station. They finally went to the problem.
Yeah.
And then I was a piece of shit for that.
But see, I'm on the other side with January 6th is that I know that there was FBI agents there. You know what I mean? They were instigating a lot of that, which is fucking crazy, dude.
And some poor woman got shot in the face because of that.
That's entrapment anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I hate all cops. No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
I'm surprised you guys haven't seen each other. Chris was down here when all that shit was going on, helping people protect their businesses.
I was part of Battleborn 3 Percenters.
Oh, I was with all the motorcycle clubs.
Well, when all that shit went down.
Yeah, well, we were down here not on, again, we all came down because Troy talked about that when we did our episode. We all came down because the stick, I'm from here. You know what I mean? I know every business owner on that street almost. You know what I'm saying? By name. I've got their phone numbers. You know what I mean? That's it. Sierra Street's important to me, right? You know what I mean? And Troy's friends with the wedding place right there.
Chapel.
Yeah, the chapel. You know, and our stance was, again, not political. It was
protection.
Do not fuck with my friends' businesses. And I would do that in any circumstance. If anybody downtown was like, hey, these guys are fucking with my business, I'm going to come and that's my friend.
And just because you did that, and you're labeled something totally
so I've got a black little sister and a black son, and I'm a Romani gypsy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we came down there with black motorcycle clubs, Mexican motorcycle clubs.
Everybody was down.
You know what I mean? We were there because we did not want people to fuck with our shit.
So when you guys were lining Sierra Street,
right?
We were back over at the Performing Arts Center. So for that one, there's prior to that happening, when they first went down there and started getting all retarded and everything.
Yeah.
I got 5 of my friends, and we went down there by ourselves to go and walk all those little mom and pop shops that are there.
I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the things people say, or even go out and campaign and the rallies and all that shit. I don't always agree with them personally, but what I do agree with is everybody's fucking right to do so, because fucking thank God, right?
Yeah.
That you can. I 100% agree with everybody's right to
protest.
100 fucking %.
There's a way to do it.
There is a way.
You don't need to destroy your community to do it.
For sure. But yeah, I definitely agree that there is a way to do it right and to do it, to do it good but like when I think about England and shit, like what's happening in England right now is people are getting arrested for fucking social media posts and shit.
Speaking your voice.
That shit's blowing my mind. You know, there's people going to jail for social media posts.
This is what happens when you lose your spine.
And there's people online making it make sense to younger people here. And that's fucking scary.
Yeah.
That's really fucking scary.
Yeah.
That's
say whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
Say whatever the fuck you want. I'm not going to agree with you. I might talk shit to you, but say whatever the fuck you want. Thank God you can. You know what I mean?
Well, and the beautiful thing about people that say horrible shit is now you know who's the one saying horrible shit.
Yeah.
That's the beauty. That, like, it might be bad, but you're now getting the insight of, oh, I don't agree with you. You say horrible ass shit.
Yeah.
I know who to stay away from. Like the premise is like to just shut the fuck up. Now those people are going to move quietly. And then what's the consequence of that? You know what I mean?
Well, so tell us about the third deployment, because I'm curious.
Oh, so the second deployment I tried to go on.
Yeah.
So what I was trying to say is my marriage was in a horrible place financially, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I had fun the first deployment. Regardless of everything that happened, I still had fun. I liked that environment, the constant adrenaline. And so I volunteered in 2009 to go with 221 Cav when they were in Yerington. 2 of my friends Adam and Scott, they were like, well, you ain't going alone, because now I'm going from an aviation unit to an Earthwalker unit. Completely different thing, but being in the Marine Corps, was already used to that side of it anyway.
Right.
And everything. Well, 2 weeks before we were supposed to head into country, we were doing a training exercise, and I tore my whole medial meniscus all the way around. And they wouldn't even let me. I tried to get them to let me to go into country, and then I would go have the surgery and come back, and they were like, nope, you ain't going. It's like, fuck. So I ended up sitting in med hold or in med platoon for like a year waiting to have surgery and everything. So that was my second deployment.
Gotcha.
Which was shitty because I really wanted to go, and it sucks that 2 of my friends went. And as you'll find out, Adam got blown up on that deployment.
Yeah.
Which sucked.
So when I met Chris, I met him playing softball. But I met him playing softball, and I just was subbing one of my friends, or he wasn't even my friend at this point, but he told me to come out and play. And then, I'm with this group of guys that all deployed together a bunch of times, and come to find out. And one thing I noticed about him and Adam as the years progressed is, you hear those, you have people that say, oh, that's my buddy, I'll jump in front of a bus for him. And that started to make a lot more sense to that group of guys that all hung out together, because they literally did that shit like day in and day out for a long time. You had T-Dub, Tommy, you, Adam,
Justin.
Yeah. And
it was a whole team. Yeah. You were the only non-military that joined that team.
Yeah. And there's a big group of guys that would literally, is like, hey, we're going to go like volunteering to go fight a fucking war is nuts. In my I've never done it, so I don't know, but like the idea of that is fucking crazy to me. And that's why I found Chris and Adam so interesting, is because they're best friends to this day.
Yeah.
And like watching the dynamic with Adam with you, like you can definitely tell like you guys that's never going away. And you guys
when was the last time you saw Adam?
2 years probably.
2 years. All right, so his demeanor, if you would have met him prior, you would have seen a completely different person. That's crazy. Because after he got blown up, he came back a completely different person.
I would imagine.
I can understand. And he absolutely came back a different person, and he's now who you know and everything. He's definitely not the same personality that I am, which is why we got along so well. It's because our personalities were just like fucking, you got one, you got the other. That's just the way it is. And now he's more of a homebody and everything. And now I think he got fucked up more than what he acknowledges and wants to acknowledge, because they hit a 2,000-pound IED with the front of their vehicle, and on those MRAPs, it blew the whole front end off of it. And the gunners, he got thrown up into the air, came back down, face planted on top of the 50, fucked his face up. The driver's elbow got shoved through the back of his arm because he was resting it on the radio. And I mean, you survive that blast, that concussion alone is going to give you TBI. And
look,
he refused for years to let me do his VA stuff for him, because that's something I started doing when I retired. I got tired of watching these people get rich off of veterans' fucking injuries and shit. So I started doing it for free. And my own best friend would not come to me to let me do his shit. It's like, I'm not going to force you. He finally did. We finally got him what I knew he was going to get. But it's that mentality. You come back. Psh.
Right. And I've sent a lot of people to Chris, and that's one thing I wanted to have you on too, because the first person I said to him is a kid my age that did a couple deployments, and I still don't know what happened to him, but he got him. It just came back clueless. Goes and fights a war, they come back completely clueless. And you're self-taught on how to just give people their fucking benefits that they signed up to be entitled to if need be. and they're total like there's like my cousin retired after 25 years, can barely walk, and I said, have you done any of your benefits? He goes, no, I don't know how to do it. I've given him your number, he still hasn't called you. But there's no assistance on the way out of like, here's what you need to do to get the help that you need. And I sent my buddy to you, and within a couple months he got all this shit done, said by some guy in his house in fucking Reno. Yep. Not the government.
That's why I decided doing it, because it's easier for me to sit down with somebody who deployed and talk to them and relate and make them feel at ease for me to be able to get them to talk to me. Like I got Vietnam vets that I still do claims for. They'll come see me and everything. And it's easier when you can relate, like you talking to your other club members. You guys have that mentality
totally.
That you can do.
Just that nobody else is going to understand.
Nobody else is going to understand. I rode bikes for 2 years. I don't have the club mentality.
No, I get you, yeah.
So me sitting down with these vets, I can relate to them 100%. And there is shit that I can bring up that they won't even think about. And I'll bring it up because I understand the 38 CFR. I understand what the VA is looking for, and I understand how to take what happened to them and then turn it into words.
Yep.
Which is what what my biggest thing is that I do. And so I do that shit for free. I will do that shit for free until the day I die, because in my opinion, I would rather them come deal with an hour of me in my garage over a beer or whatever the fuck you want to drink than go sit at DAV or any of these other places where you're a number. When I do mine, we talk about shit. We talk about things that we did, what you did generationally ago versus what I'm doing, what I did when I was in.
Yep.
So I actually enjoy it. It's fun to me.
That's a beautiful thing, bro.
Yeah.
That's an important thing, bro.
So anybody here locally that needs help, you guys will have my information.
There you go.
I even have people across country. I got people in Tennessee, people that I'm willing to jump online with and help them. So that's my give back.
That's a beautiful thing, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, on to the third deployment. This shithole. Fob Shank, Afghanistan, 2012, 2013. Prior to us getting there, remember the big SEAL team mission that got fucked up in the Tangi Valley, that they killed all the SEALs?
Yeah.
That's the unit we replaced.
Okay.
So we went into that deployment already knowing we're going to a shithole. It is what it is. It's situated, you had Bagram on one side, Kabul on the other, draw a triangle, and that's us that meets at the point where we were at. And during that time frame, there was a lot of downsizing going of smaller U.S. bases, COPs, smaller FOBs and stuff like that. They were closing them all down, which was bringing everybody to that area of Puli Alam, Fob Shank, Bagram, Kabul, and everything. So anywhere that was in that area was a target. And I think our calculation was in the 9 months that we were in country on Fob Shank, we took 286 rockets on the base. We took VBID that they detonated outside of the wall, blew up half the base. The only thing that I think saved the rest of it was when that happened, there was 2 attack helicopters sitting at the refuel point.
Yep.
And as soon as that thing went off, they unplugged them, and those 2 went right over to where that happened at. Because apparently what was supposed to happen is they were supposed to bring more vehicles in and blow them up over by the airstrip, which is where we were. But the airstrip was their target. Take out the helicopters, stop taking people out to go fucking hunt them. And I make jokes about it. I've made the jokes to John where, I mean, you ever play rocket dodgeball? I mean, that shit's fun.
Jeez, bro.
It's a sick mentality, but you have to have that mentality because we'd be up working on an aircraft or whatever, coming out of phase, or air raid siren goes off, and next thing you know, we're from an aircraft onto the ground like that. We're jumping because you don't know where the fuck that rocket's going. And so we lay on the ground. This one day it happened. We were on Charlie 1, working on aircraft. Air raid siren, or the incoming alarm, went off. We jumped down, got on the ground, and the rocket hit right behind us on Delta One, which is civilian contractor aircraft.
Yeah.
And so we were like, all right. So we got up, freaking start working on the aircraft again. Air raid siren goes off again, incoming. We're like, what the fuck? So across the way on Bravo 1 was a bunker for us to get into. So we start running that way, and there's a Black Hawk taxiing down. He has to stop, let us get into the bunker. And just as he turns his ass end, that rocket hits right behind where he had just turned, in between Charlie 1 and Charlie 2, where we were at. And it was like that the whole year. We had them split our tents. It got to a point where we flew all of our missions at night because of the threat of them shooting at us. And it got to the point where when that alarm would go off, we were supposed to get out of bed, out of our tents, and go to the bunkers and everything. It got to the point where we were losing sleep. We're supposed to have 8 hours of sleep to fly a mission for aviation. We're getting like 3-4 hours.
Right.
And now you want us to go fly 8 hours? I mean, all right, cool. But I would just turn over in my bed. I knew where the rockets were coming from because they found the tree line out in Pulalam. The trees had holes cut out and pointed to different areas of the base.
Yep.
And so we would just turn over. I would just turn over and go back to sleep. I would put my back to where I knew they were coming from and just go to sleep.
Yeah.
You just get desensitized and you're like, dude, this is fucking useless. If it was my time, it's my time. It's going to happen. We had several tents around us get hit. We had our chow hall get hit. We had, aircraft out we had some of our aircraft get hit out on the flight line. The Black Hawks get hit. So it's literally rocket dodgeball. Where we lived, where we ate, where we flew all of our missions, where we departed from it. That's where they were all coming in. Just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I equate it. Rocket dodgeball.
Wow,
You
man.
survived that for a year.
Yeah. You were there for a year and came home?
Well, it was 9 months. So it was 9
yeah.
months there. 3 months in, where did we go at that time? Fuck, I don't even remember. I think we went
And
to
now-
Texas.
Professional fucking cornhole, dog.
Not professional yet.
Oh, is there levels to this?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
He's
know.
on
there's
ESPN,
levels.
the
The
Ocho.
Ocho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so I was, when was it? November of,
There's somebody that's watching amateur cornhole championships,
Oh, yeah.
dude. You know what I mean? So
November of 2022, when I was still playing softball, my good friend Jeff, he calls me one day. He's like, dude, I need you to come play this cornhole tournament with me. Huh? All right. Sure. I pitched in softball, so I was like, I messed around with cornhole in the backyard and everything, never took it seriously. He neglects to tell me that it's an actual regional event. So it's not just a backyard. It's not just a local event. It's an actual regional for national points. And I'm like, fuck, all right. So we play. There's different levels: intermediate, comp, advanced, open, and pro. Because it's my first one.
hold on one sec. You didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
no,
No,
no.
Please go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I go to this tournament and we run it and we end up taking second. And I was like, this can't be that easy. So I started practicing more. The next one we take first, and then I take second singles. And then next thing you know, I'm playing like 2 to 3 nights a week. And next thing you know, I'm traveling across the country, playing it at all these big events that end up on ESPN and everything. And then next thing you know, I'm a director of a club.
Cool, bro.
And I'm like, all right, what's next? Oh, now I'm a regional director. Well, this season, I got picked up from a bag company back in Florida called Over the Top. Adam Gilbert, if you're watching, he's the owner of Over the Top. And so now, last year I was number 6 in the state. This year for ACO, I'm looking to be top 100 nationally in singles. That's my goal this year. But it has replaced softball because I've since retired. We're a 501c3.
I see.
Dude, my body beat up. Reno Renegade Baggers is who we are. We have a Facebook page. We run local events here. We run fundraisers.
Cool, man.
So we give back to the community. We bring kids in. Kids, for me and my regionals, kids play free. So we're trying to grow in it. We're actually going to start taking it into the high schools because you can get college scholarships now from cornhole.
What the fuck up?
Shit you not. Winthrop University back on the East Coast. And there's now more colleges jumping on board to give kids scholarships. In my opinion, cornhole is it's a pretty good place for autistic, ADHD, ADD, introvert people because
It's like the dark people.
I
know what I
wouldn't
mean?
say the dark. It's the ones that aren't as social, that
Yeah.
like to be in group settings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It gives them the ability to go out with one other person and compete and then also do it again on their own.
Yeah.
And these goddamn people are crazy good at it.
Yeah.
In 2 to 3 years, cornhole is going to be run by teenagers because they come with this, I don't have any worry mentality about bills and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And they catch on so fast.
Yeah.
That, like, you can't go play cornhole against a kid and get upset if you lose.
It's just wild the transition from Afghanistan to
Right.
cornhole, my guy. I'm just kidding.
You know what, though? I have to have that coping mechanism.
Cool, bro. I get that. And that's what it is, bro.
That's what
And
it is.
motorcycles, darts, fucking pool, cornhole, it's all better than sitting in the corner smoking crack or whatever.
Yeah.
You know
Or
what I mean?
Drinking my life. I mean, even though I drink,
Like I said, I got a buddy who was from 29 Palms as well, Marine.
Mhm.
And same thing, man. He found a different way.
Yeah.
And now he's 3 years sober, but man, he struggled with it for a long time, bro. And now he has a thing, man. You know what I mean? His thing was motorcycles, and that's why we clicked. Because that's it's just I don't have any context to relate to what you went through. You know, I went through my own kind of boot camp. You know
everything
what I mean?
has their own context.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
There's stuff that you've experienced being in a club that I'll never experience, you know? And I try to tell people all the time is don't think that you're less just because of what I did. Because like I just said, there's shit that you're going to do, I will never experience.
Right.
The shit John's going to do that I'll never experience.
Yeah.
And the way I see it is I made that decision to go.
Yeah.
So that was me doing what I wanted to do, just like you're doing what you wanted. We're all on the same level. I don't have a higher echelon for people that wore a uniform. We're getting to a point right now, I may actually regret wearing my uniform, but we'll see how that goes.
I hear you. I hope that doesn't happen, man.
Me neither. But
Well, Chris, I really appreciate you coming on today, man, and talking with me and John. And like I said, I'd love to have you back on. And if you could hit up your buddies over there and see what's going on with the aliens, we'd appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll see if I can make a phone call.
Thanks, Chris. Be safe, man.
No problem, man.
Thanks,
I
everybody, for
appreciate you
listening.
guys having a John. Thank you.